We're live?
Yes.
Just say it.
Oh, I guess I could edit it out.
Yeah. Like we're on the radio.
Yeah, I was like, and in,
2.
and am I pointing? I'm not even looking at you.
No, I know. I can't even read your finger
Well,
cues because it looks like you're just doing one over and over
I was
again.
pointing at you, like you're on. You're on, bitch.
I'm so tired today. I've been tired all week.
Is that?
I don't know, because I'm dying inside probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your body's fighting off what you're dying from.
Yeah, that's what it is.
You need 16 hours of sleep.
That's what I feel like.
Until you get your upgrade.
Dude.
So what are we doing today?
We're going to do another episode and talk about some, I don't know, stuff. What are you going to show me?
I have something.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is it going to be good?
I hope.
Is it going to be gross?
We'll see.
Oh, come on.
I don't think it's gross.
No blue waffle.
It's not a blue waffle.
Okay. Because you were looking up key lime pie.
Yep.
And I'm very confused.
Yes. It's a crazy one.
Okay.
There's nothing gross, though, I don't think.
Nothing gross. Okay. All right. Well, let's fucking do the thing. I'm your host, Abby, and this is the Pab House Podcast. Okay, we have a couple stories today, and if all of them are good, then you get to hear all of them.
And what if the first one's bad?
I guess it's getting scrapped. I don't know.
All right.
We'll see. Okay, here we go.
Do you have a theme that you're following today?
Oh, shit. Yeah. Thank you.
Should we just start completely over?
Why?
No, I'm just...
Who cares?
Okay.
Nobody's listening.
That's true.
Yeah, so the general theme is mine and your siblings suck.
Ah.
I guess that's what we're going with.
Just siblings suck.
Pretty much everything has to do with a sibling squabble of sorts.
Yeah, okay.
So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm not on theme at all.
No, well, you decided to make a theme on my podcast, and that's what you do.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I don't care. But the theme of the Reddit stories is that.
Okay.
That works.
Cool. Should we do a little music to intro to the first one, or just go back into the same?
I don't think we need music. I was just going to start reading.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay, perfect. This one is coming from r/moral dilemmas. Am I supposed to be kicking my sister out of the house in a month? My sister, 33 female, has been living with me, 31 male, and my wife, 39 female, for going on 11 years. Holy shit, that's a long time. When she came to live with us, we thought it was going to be a temporary thing, but I never set any limits in place, just assumed that she'd find her own path in life after a year or so. 11 years later.
I know.
We all lived together without many issues until a couple of years ago. My wife and I moved so I could be closer to my job. We told my sister did not have to go with us if she wanted to stay in that area since she worked there. My sister tried to relocate to another store closer to where we were moving and couldn't. Then opted to quit her job, pull her 401k, and went jobless for the first few months. Her new job didn't pay as much as her old one, and she started slipping on paying bills on time. We didn't have her paying rent, just had her covering some bills that would be equal to paying rent. It got to the point where I was getting phone calls about bills being overdue and hitting my credit. At this point, I needed to know what the fuck was going on and sat down with her. We got into her finances and she was deep in the hole. I decided to take all the bills from her and had her pay rent. All I asked was $600 per month so she could work on paying debt off and also look into getting her own place to live. My wife and I are fed up with her living with us at this point. Besides her not paying her bills, she was also trashing her room and not respecting our house at all. The odor that seeps out of her room is so brutal. We go in when she leaves for work to open the windows to let it air out. Leaves literal bags of trash on the floor and doesn't clean up after her dog that stays in the room pretty much 24/7. Oh
And you
my,
think her dog shits in the room?
it sounds like it.
Oh,
That's disgusting.
it's so
Why would they even
gross.
let her have a dog?
Really?
Throughout the year, she consistently paid her rent late. 100 here, 200 there. By the end of the year, she still owed us rent from 2 months prior. This turned into another sit down, and as an act of kindness, told her she no longer needs to pay rent, but she has 6 months to be out of my house. That 6 month mark will be June, and despite all the issues over the past 2 years, I can't help but feel guilty. I'm the only family she has. She doesn't have friends that I know of, and I don't think she's made plans to move out at all. I'm struggling with the idea that I'll be making my own sister homeless, but I know I shouldn't continue to enable her.
Okay. So scroll up to the top real quick right there. Look, the sister that is living with him is older than the sister that she's living with. Or
The brother.
the brother.
Yeah, she's 33 and he's 31.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. But 11 years? I mean, he kind of did this to himself.
Enabled. Definitely enabled.
Well,
for
and the fact that he just
long.
didn't set any limits.
Like limits
like basically when you move in, this is a 6 month,
oh,
12-month situation.
like we did with my sister. We gave her a week
yeah,
to
like
like
you
we
need
gave
to
the do your thing for a week, and then after a week we told her, hey,
you need to come back to reality and like
you
get your shit together.
get a job, you
Right.
need to like start
Like-
making
like-
steps.
In a week, you need to come to us with a game plan of what your next steps are.
Yeah, exactly.
It's weird he doesn't mention why she even came to live with him in the first place.
There's no replies, no
Let's see.
go ahead. Okay, hold on. So that one seems to be the reason why he did it. Leave her dog in the house with ours. Unfortunately, the dog is up there in age and can't control, so she pees. That's gross.
Wait, she refuses to watch her dog if she's home alone and lets it piss wherever in the house. I would have gotten rid of the dog. I love my dogs.
mhm.
I love dogs, but if it's someone else's dog and they're living in my house and they're not taking care of it, I'm done.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
you're out.
You gotta, yeah, like that's a burden. That's like a child, basically. Take care of your children. Okay. We did have her sign a contract stating that she had 6 months.
To be out, I hope she doesn't push back on it and
And that's
force
where
us
it
to go through with
starts.
eviction. I mean, that's what's gonna happen. That's literally what's gonna happen.
And then there's no more replies.
No,
There's
this is
just
all
people
older
replying
stuff.
to him.
My wife and I have tossed the thoughts around that my sister has been dealing with mental issues.
Seems
No
like it.
shit.
Well, depression being one of them.
We talked to her a bit about it in one of our discussions, but she insisted she was fine. Can't force someone to look into therapy, though I truthfully feel like she needs it. And yeah, my wife has been on me about making sure I follow through with this. Yeah, I mean, I would too.
Yeah, exactly.
This is just not a. I mean, this other podcast that I listen to regularly always talks about being clear is kind.
Right, say what you mean.
Right. And
Mhm.
so, like, because he left things so open ended when it started, it's gone on for 11 years.
Yeah,
because he just
exactly.
hasn't been. In all of his writing.
Like, what were you doing in year 6?
Yeah. In all of
Yeah.
his writing, he's like, oh, well, I assumed she would get the picture. Like, no,
Right.
dude,
Yeah.
that's not how that
Like,
works.
that's what I'm saying. Like, in year 5, she wasn't. Like, you couldn't lay down your boundaries.
But I also feel like they fucked up. They moved.
And they all moved together.
Yeah. Like, they did. They should have said, hey, we're moving.
hmm
You're staying here.
Right, because that's why she
You
stayed
can
in the
come
first
live
place, right?
in the same city as us, but you will not be living with us.
Because the reason why they were staying in there in the first place because the family moved, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then they moved in and were like, kudos to the wife here then, because the
Ugh.
wife's putting up with them.
Yeah,
The wife is
no.
putting up with so much.
But it also, yeah, but again, like, that's why. That's not kudos to her.
No,
Because
I
she's
mean,
also just, like, probably pissed off all the time. And, like,
if yeah, yeah, you give it about 2 weeks before you get upset about the dogs that live here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't do dirty. Like, that's,
Oh yeah, like
no.
when your brother was living here with us, um, me and him were having fun. Like we liked it. Me
Yeah,
and
you
him
guys
were
were acting
best
like
friends.
fucking frat boys.
No, we weren't having
Yes.
parties. We were
You were
just
having parties with each other.
that was badass.
Just because there wasn't multiple people in the house doesn't mean it wasn't a party.
It's fucking badass. Yeah, that was the best. I remember.
No, it was literally the worst.
Can I tell the story?
It was not the best. Yeah.
So one day Abby was out of town, and she told us that we needed to have the house clean when she came back. And Monday, me and him were sitting at the bar, and we're like, "All right, we need to figure out how we're gonna get this house clean." And there was an app called Handy, and it was like $39 for the first cleaning service. So they come and clean your house. And the first time we completely got away with it. It worked. And so the next week that Abby was gone, because you were gone, what, like 2 weeks out of every month?
Well, no, I think it was only that you guys thought you got away with it.
No.
The
The first time we did get away with it because you didn't confront us.
Yeah, but I knew that something was off.
Okay, so let's revise history here.
Yeah.
So we got away with it because Abby didn't say anything. But the second time she left for a week, probably about 2 weeks later, the cleaner comes, does like kind of half-ass job.
No, it was literally the worst. It was probably worse than if you guys had cleaned it.
Yeah.
Which is not good.
Okay, so whatever. And then me and Abby are getting ready to leave on a Saturday morning, and my landlord comes up and he's like, "Hey, Paul, like your cleaning lady came and I scared the crap out of him." As he's walking up, I'm like, "Hey, shh, no, don't say anything. Like, what are you doing? You're ruining this whole thing." And Abby's like glaring a hole through me. And I look at her and I'm like, "Babe, I swear it was another girl. I was cheating on you. That's what was happening." And Abby was pissed. I remember me and Daniel, her brother, we just sat down in Abby went to take a shower. She said, "I'm going to take a shower and then we'll talk." And we were sitting on the couch like little kids just waiting for mom to get out of the shower to get yelled at. And she was so mad.
Yeah, because you had the audacity to pay somebody else to do a half-ass job.
In our defense.
And I clean the house how many fucking times a week? And I don't get paid for that shit?
So in our defense.
No, there is no defense.
Drinking. We just wanted to drink.
Yeah, no defense. I would have been happier had you just had me come home and be like, "Hey, we were going to pay a maid $60 to clean the apartment. Here's $60."
Is that offer still on the table?
No. No.
All right. So how do we go further in this situation right here with frozen bag of peas?
What? Oh, that's the screen name. Yeah, I mean, what was his request for advice?
If he's the asshole, right?
No, it was a moral dilemma.
Okay, the end. Go to the last paragraph.
Yeah, I mean, all it says is I'm struggling with the idea that I'll be making my own sister homeless.
Yeah. Okay. But
I mean, my thing is, bro, do you want to be divorced in 2 years, or do you want
right? Well,
and have your sister live with you, or do you want No, I guarantee you that's what it's coming down to because he's literally saying that his wife is like she's at her wits'
At
ends.
her wits' end.
Yeah.
And very well, she
Yeah,
should be.
rightfully so. It's been 11 years.
Yeah.
No one has ever expected a family member to live with them for more than a year.
That's like a generation of
We're
person.
talking a decade.
Yeah, that's a very, very long time. Like, she didn't have boyfriends or people to, like, pull her out of this. Like, in
And
10
so-
years, she didn't date. She didn't want to move in with somebody
Dude,
else.
and when she started, it was 11 years ago. She was only 20,
23.
20,
Or 22.
22.
Right.
When she moved in, she was 22. And that means she moved in with the fucking... Well, the wife was old. The wife is old. The wife was 30. Almost 30. His wife's 39.
Yeah, so she was 28.
But that means... This is very weird that the wife is so much older than the man.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why that always trips me out. I know it's perfectly normal, but it's just weird.
Well,
to
it's
me.
like that is... Well, that's more than our age difference.
Yeah, it's weird because I can't fathom ever dating anyone my age or younger. Because, like, I mean, the majority of the time males are way less mature.
Right.
So, like, that's why you're older than me. So
Yeah,
you're
'cause we matured
you're
at the same
almost
time.
at the same maturity level as me.
Almost.
Almost.
Almost. Exactly. Hold on.
Idiot!
So, I mean, yeah, I get it. This sucks for him, but he put himself in this position.
Yeah. So
And now he's got to pick his heart. Do
Yeah.
you like the heart of sticking to your guns and kicking your sister out, or the heart of probably your marriage is going to fall apart?
but even still, if he chooses to let her stay, that's a lose-lose. You lose your wife and
I
you
know.
enable your sister to be mentally ill.
That's what I'm saying. Which
Yeah.
heart does he want?
You got to go hard for the win because it wins in your relationship
You should.
and helps your sister.
Yeah, you should, but I don't know. This guy has been a pushover, it seems like, his whole life.
Yeah. Sounds like it.
Moving on. Okay. This next one is coming from r/Mark Narrations. I have no idea what that Reddit is, but okay.
That's the Reddit thread.
That's the Reddit thread, yeah.
Crazy.
It's very weird. Am I the asshole? Am I the
Where do you see the am I? Oh yeah, am I the
ass?
asshole? Yeah, same shit.
Am I the ass? I'm refusing to help my family after my sister got them into financial trouble. Throwaway. I, 34 male, have always had a complicated relationship with my sister Megan, 30 female. Growing up, she was the golden child. Good grades, popular, the usual story. Meanwhile, I was the quiet kid who kept his head down and worked hard. We were never close, but I thought we at least had a basic level of respect for each other. That was until last weekend when everything blew up. A little bit of background. About 18 months ago, Megan wanted to start her own business, a mobile nail salon. She needed a 15,000-pound loan to purchase equipment. For a mobile nail salon?
That's heavy.
What?
That's like 5 tons.
What? Supplies and a second-hand van to convert. I don't think she needed all of that to just be able to... Like, you could go drive to somebody's house to do nails. Anyways, the problem was her credit was terrible.
I know, right? Wait. Let's sit right there. She wants to have a mobile...
Nail salon. So basically a truck that... or a van. That
Yeah, but
she's...
can't you be a mobile nail salon and just take the equipment in your
right.
trunk?
That's what I'm saying.
That's...
Like, you don't need to do it inside the van.
Right.
It's not like you're going to go to an office
Right.
space and then be like, hey, come to the parking lot and I'll do your nails.
And when you're doing nails, that's poisonous. Like, you're gonna hurt you. You're gonna do the first person's nails, and you're just gonna be like, you guys are just both gonna be passed.
Yeah,
the fuck up.
I've personally never heard of a mobile nail salon. This person
I've heard
seems
of
to be from the UK.
I've heard of people coming to your house to do nails.
yeah.
People that make house calls.
Yeah, but no, this is like
I think
actually
she's-
in a van.
She's conflating a mobile grooming thing because you don't need that much equipment.
No, I don't.
Didn't you just buy?
Yeah, I paid $80 for all of my nail stuff.
And if you wanted and you were good enough and talented, you can use that stuff.
Yeah, I would have to like throw away the like reusable stuff for like each person, but then you just charge that into the amount of the nail, like of the nail price.
Yeah, so I don't get what you need the van for.
I don't either.
Okay, sorry. Moving on.
Yeah, okay, back to the story. Okay, so she needed a 15,000 pound loan to purchase equipment.
Supplies.
That's what the pound is, right? That's what
Yeah,
that means.
you're
Okay.
right, yeah.
Supplies and a secondhand van to convert. The problem was her credit was terrible. She's always been terrible with money, maxing out credit cards and getting store cards she can't afford. No bank would touch her loan application with a 10-foot pole. I was already side-eyeing this whole thing anyway due to her history, which we're all well aware of.
It's completely insane.
Yeah. I mean, start small, bro.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, I think, with people that are trying to start their own business or
they think that they need to like have the whole thing.
The max of the line of equipment.
Get clients.
Like when, say, people want to brew their own beer, they like want to buy a fucking factory or whatever the fuck you call it. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry for keeping interrupting, but
So she turned to our dad, 62 male. Dad's a retired electrician, worked hard his whole life, owns his home outright, and has excellent credit. He's always had a soft spot for Megan. When she batted her eyelashes and talked about how this business would finally give her the stable income she needed, he agreed to be her guarantor. Mum, 60 female, wasn't happy about it, but Dad insisted Megan had grown up and would make the payments. I mean, she's his daughter, right? Ugh,
yeah,
just don't get me started. For about a year, everything seemed fine. Megan would mention making payments whenever we had family dinners. She'd post pictures of her mobile nail salon on Instagram, and it looked like she was getting a decent number of clients. Dad seemed relieved. And even Mum had started to believe Megan had finally gotten her act together. Fast forward to last Saturday. I was visiting my parents for lunch when there was a knock at the door. Dad answered and came back looking like he'd seen a ghost. 2 bailiffs were at the door with official-looking paperwork. Apparently, Megan hadn't made a single payment on her loan in the past 6 months. Not one. And because Dad was the guarantor, they were there to assess what items could be repossessed to cover the debt. It was all heated as they wouldn't leave, and one of them already had his foot literally in the door, and apparently that legally entitles them to access.
Not sure, but this doesn't matter.
Not sure on this, but doesn't matter. Yeah.
Okay. Wait, can we stop here one more time?
Also, you got to stop reading.
Do we like guarantor or cosigner? Because I'm starting to like guarantor.
I like guarantor.
Yeah, that's cool. Right?
Everything about Europe is way more hoity-toity, and I'm here for it.
Because I like guarantor, like the person's going to guarantee.
Well, and you also like don't get a lawyer, you get a solicitor.
Oh, is that what that is? Mm-hmm. I thought it was a salesperson.
No, a solicitor is your lawyer.
What the fuck?
Yeah, you didn't know that? No. Like, have you ever
read?
I'm
back on the side. I'm back on my side. That's stupid.
Why? I like it.
No, that's so no. Fuck that. Anyways,
and have you seen that? Like, still to this day, when you go to court in Europe, they wear the wigs, and it's like clearly like a wig at this point. Like, it's literally just the curly cute wig, and it's just like wigs sitting on top of it.
So they look like barristers.
It looks so.
Oh my god! Yeah. Okay. So never mind. Cosigner. All right. I'm back on the side of cosigner. All right. Back to the story, and I'll try not to read.
But also, that's wild that's the laws out there. That bailiffs just come and they're like, yeah, no, you're a cosigner on the loan.
Well,
we're gonna just take stuff from your house.
We thought bailiff to us is the cop of the court, but that's not the bailiffs are the loan officers.
Well, it sounds like they're police officers, but I don't know.
Right, because guarantor
I don't
and
know.
solicitor, that's so fucking stupid. Oh, I hate English people. All right.
The loan company had been trying to contact Megan for months with no response. They'd sent multiple letters to Dad as well, but we later discovered Megan had been intercepting his mail.
What? Like a fucking bad report card?
She has a key to their house and often stops by when they're out. By the time the bailiff showed up, the debt had grown to over £20,000 with late fees and interest. My dad was devastated. He's 62, retired, and suddenly facing a
And suddenly
massive
he's
debt.
in massive debt.
The bailiffs took inventory of his belongings, including his car, his woodworking tools, his retirement hobby, and even assessed the value of the furniture. They gave him 2 weeks to either pay up or they'd come back to take the items. Oh, that's so sad. Why don't they just repossess the van, though?
Because they can't get a hold of her.
Ugh. Mom was in tears, I was furious, and the bailiffs left. I called Megan immediately. She didn't answer. I texted her. Nothing. Finally, I drove to her flat and found her packing her car. She tried to act surprised to see me, but I think she could see I was pissed and put two and two together. When I confronted her, she broke down crying, saying the business had failed months ago. She'd been pretending
So
to...
immediately.
Yeah, she'd been pretending to still run it while actually working at a pub. She claimed she meant to catch up on the payments but never had enough money. Instead of talking to Dad or the loan company about it, she just ignored it until it was too late. Oh my God.
This one is insane.
The worst part, she had spent the loan money not just on business supplies, but also on a holiday to Spain.
Fire.
New clothes and other luxuries. The van she bought was sitting outside her flat with a flat tire filled with
No maintenance. No. Probably either empty or still the first tank of gas that she ever put in it.
filled with boxes of unused nail products. I lost it. I told her she needed to empty her bank accounts, sell whatever she could, and give Dad every penny. She cried and said she was sorry, but couldn't afford to pay anything right now. Then she had the audacity to ask if I could help her with money to sort this out.
Insane.
Oh my God. This is wild.
This one, what? This one might should have been first. If we'd have
I
known.
didn't think it was going to be this good.
Yeah.
I refused. I told her she needed to face the consequences of her actions for once in her life. She accused me of being jealous of her and stormed off.
What a choice.
I mean, maybe there is some resentment for the way we were differently treated, but still doesn't excuse this shit. I went back to my parents' house and helped Dad contact a debt advisor. We're trying to work out a payment plan, but it's going to seriously impact their retirement. Dad's entire pension might go toward these payments for years, but in all honesty...
He's gonna have to unretire.
Oh, that's horrible. But in all honesty, I'm starting to lose a bit of sympathy, and here's why.
Here we go.
Megan has been blowing up our family WhatsApp group, telling everyone I'm cruel and unsupportive. She's convinced our aunt and a few cousins that I'm being heartless when she's going through a hard time. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Meanwhile, she's posted pictures of herself at a pub quiz last night, seemingly without a care in the world. I've blocked her number for now. Dad is still defending her, saying she made a mistake and we need to help her. Mom is torn between supporting Dad and being furious with Megan. Oh, this is. I'm out.
So wait.
I'm out.
Mom is torn. Oh, so she. Oh, because it's Jesus Christ. What the fuck?
I've told my parents I'm done with Megan. I won't be at any family gatherings if she's there. I've also refused to contribute any money toward paying off her debt, even though I could probably afford to help a bit. I told them they should let the bailiffs take her stuff first before losing their own possessions, which I later found out her possessions won't clear the debt anyway, but Dad thinks I'm being vindictive.
Oh, so they're turning on him.
How is he being vindictive?
Oh my God. He's coming up with a damn solution.
But I think she needs to learn there are consequences to her actions. So am I the asshole?
All right, scroll back up again. I want to see how old the sister is. He's 34. She's 30.
Yeah. This is 4 days ago.
From today.
Yeah.
Dude, what the fuck? honestly. Like,
I have no sympathy for anyone in this story except for the OP.
right. Yeah, like he's the
Like,
one that deserves it here. And then his dad is starting to turn on him for laying the law in his defense.
everybody is turning on him. They're saying that he's vindictive. Vindictive for what?
Yeah, like oh, I'm telling my sister that she's a loser for being a loser. And he's like not even saying that. He's like, you need to sell your stuff
Yeah.
before dad should sell his stuff, which
It's totally accurate.
100%. What the fuck? Okay. Now this,
I'm blown away.
I'm glad. Okay, so I'm glad this one we got to this one early because this is the one. This I'm riled, dude. Like I am
Damn
riled.
it.
There's
And
no.
the account has been suspended.
Do you think? Do you think the sister reported the account?
No, it doesn't work that way.
No?
No, it's something. It somehow didn't meet the requirements of the subreddit that it was on.
Well, how can you post then? Wouldn't they just delete the post?
I don't know. It depends.
I don't get Reddit. They let people get upset about it, but not let him keep the story going. All right, what do we got for comments?
But I mean, everyone is flabbergasted.
Damn, I
about
really
the
wish
situation.
I really wish people could like put like a red or blue check to be like for or against asshole.
Well,
So
that
we can read the person that thinks that he is an asshole.
oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, no, like nobody thinks he's the asshole.
Well, if his sister had a Reddit, she could go over there.
But
Or people in the sister's situation, because you know they'll jump to defend that shit. Oh, NTA. Search an NTA.
that is not the asshole.
Oh, search what is it? AH?
The asshole? TAH?
Yeah, I think so.
No.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, nobody.
No, there's no way.
Mm.
So, yeah. The account's been suspended, so there's no comments, and there's no update or anything
And
like
so
that.
what? Like that
So,
whole suspending the account thing.
That is what
weird.
it is. But that's a wild story. I mean, I don't
Okay.
know. I don't feel bad for him because I feel like he's like he's standing up for himself and being steadfast in the fact
Which
that
he should be
his
doing.
sister is an idiot because she is,
100%.
and also his dad is an idiot.
Has been for
not
a
only
while.
for giving her the money, but then also being like, well, it was just a mistake afterwards. So you're mad about the fact that you are now going to lose out on part of your retirement, but you still think it's somehow not her fault? Like, when are you going to get it together, dude?
Yeah, you're 62 and now your retirement is in jeopardy.
I
So-
didn't realize that that's how loans work out there.
That's how it works here. If you co-sign on a loan, so when I was
Yeah, but but it wouldn't be all of their pension. It would then be like a portion.
oh yeah,
It wouldn't just be like, oh no, you get $3,500 a month for your
Yeah.
pension, and now all of that money goes to us. It would be no, you still have to be able to live.
yeah, I guess over
And
there
we're
they're
gonna-
like fuck you.
Yeah, apparently they're just like, yeah, no, we don't care if you're on the street or not. This money belongs to us now. That's wild.
You know what? The thing is, he owns his house, so they can't.
Okay, you still have to pay for food.
No. What I'm saying is they can't put a lien on the house because he owns it. You know, like if
I
if
know,
he
I'm-
owed on the house,
That's-
then they could be like, okay, all this house payment is ours.
No, no.
No,
That's the opposite. If anything, they would have more reason to be able to take his house because he owns it and not a bank.
right? They can't touch his house, so
No.
they have to touch all his money.
No.
Isn't that what they're
You're
doing?
backwards on this, buddy. My point is that he has no money to live off of
Mhm.
because they're taking all of his pension. Whereas if you were in the US, that wouldn't happen. It would just be this much money from your paycheck it now
Yeah,
belongs
they would
to us.
garnish wages.
Yes.
But they're able to take everything. But they put a lien on your house. Anything that you're making payments is theirs. So you're basically making a payment to them for their car. But they can't take his house since he owns it.
No, I don't think that that's how that works. Because if I owned my house in the US and I owned IRS debt, they could put a lien on my house. Like, just because I don't owe money to the bank doesn't mean they couldn't put a lien on it.
Oh, you see, I'm in a different. I didn't think they could. If you own something, they can't be like, oh,
They
bank.
could put a lien on whatever they want. It's just like if you take your car. It's just like if you were to take your car to the mechanic and be like, "Hey, I'm not going to pay that bill." Just because I own the car outright doesn't mean they can't put a mechanic's lien on it. You see what I mean? Like,
No.
you can put a lien on anybody's property. That's the whole point of putting a lien on something. Is you're now saying that I am now owed this amount of money, and this particular property or possession can then support me and my
I get how
regaining.
I'm backwards, right? They could like confiscate the house.
Yes, it would be a lien. That's what it would be.
Yeah. Okay. Because I was under the understanding that, well, maybe their lien rules are different. Like what is theirs is truly theirs,
I don't
not
think
like
so.
it is here.
I think what they're looking at is that they'll probably be more guaranteed to get the money from his pension
If they just cut his pension
than
Because
putting a lien
here-
on the house.
Here you can't touch pensions.
No, I was gonna say,
Well,
like, there's no way you can
Yeah,
touch
you
that,
can't
right?
touch a pension here,
I wouldn't think so.
especially as a cosigner.
Yeah, like the only thing I would think if it happened over here that they might have access to is their Social Security amount.
Well, that's the pension.
That's not a pension.
Well, that's what it would be, right? Like that's
But
included.
that's not a pension.
Okay, but they're
Like a pension is a pension.
Okay, but we're also talking about different words for different things in.
Yeah, I know. I was specifically talking about over here.
Mm. Yeah, so they can't touch your pension here.
Yes, and I just said I think the only thing that they could touch would be their Social Security.
Is that not the same thing?
No. Social Security is Social Security. Pension is a pension. Like, there's a reason those are two different words exist. Those are two different things.
Okay, but
Otherwise
you say
they
that,
would
you
call-
say that you say
otherwise
that,
they would
but
call
a
it-
solicitor is a lawyer in England.
Yes, but I'm talking about being in America. There are two different things in America. There is a pension in America, and there is Social Security in America. And they both exist separate of themselves.
So you can retire and collect Social Security.
Everyone in the U.S. who has paid
pay into it.
has paid into Social Security and falls within.
Uh-huh.
Actually, I don't even think you have to fall within a certain tax bracket. If you've paid into
You pay
Social
into it,
Security,
yeah.
you are guaranteed Social Security if you are still alive by the time you are eligible
65.
for Social Security.
Right? Or is it
I
70?
think it's 62.
Okay. Now say if you retire, you get a certain amount of your paycheck, right? From a job.
Yeah, so at that point you're talking about a pension.
Yeah. So you
So
do
like
that.
you work for UPS.
Say you work for
UPS
25
has
years.
a pension.
You get your 25-year retirement pension.
Yes.
Can you still get Social Security?
Yes.
You can get them both?
Yes, they're not it's subject to one or the other. You have paid into Social Security. You can't opt out of Social Security.
I wasn't saying you could opt out. I
Which
thought
means-
that you okay, so no matter what, once you turn a certain age,
you
you're
get Social Security.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I thought that was for people who couldn't retire.
No, Social Security is just basically they created Social Security
For what it is.
in the like ridiculous idea that the government could well run a government funded retirement plan.
Yeah,
And
no, they
obviously they can't.
No, they can't.
And so that's all that is.
Oh, I thought
And then, like-
if you retire, you live off retirement.
Yeah, just like your uncle Hector.
Yeah.
He's
He's living off retirement,
He
but
has
he's not
retirement,
65.
and he has. What are you talking about? That was the whole reason he worked an extra year.
But that was retirement, not
No,
Social
that was
Security.
for Social Security. It was literally for Social Security. It was so he could bump up his amount that he was going to get from Social Security. You
I
can
don't know-
ask
I don't
Ivy
know how-
right now.
I don't know how life works.
No, you don't.
No, I don't
The
know.
whole reason he worked longer, I think it was like 2 more years, was because he was going to meet some requirement for like a specific amount from Social Security.
Oh, I thought it was so that he can get his retirement up.
No, you can have your retirement at 55. I think it's 55.
That's when my dad retired.
Yeah.
Well, he retired
Like
from
you
life
can start
at 55.
you can start withdrawing from your retirement accounts without penalty. I think after 55.
Well, no, my dad retired at 50.
Okay.
25 years at Boeing.
But
yeah.
again, he had a pension, which is a totally different thing.
Yeah.
Like a retirement is different, pension is different, and Social Security is different. Those are all different things. And if you're listening to this and you have no idea what I'm talking about, you should probably get your shit together and figure out the difference between all of those things.
I need to get my shit together. And I mean, as far as like...
Why do you think I listen to Dave Ramsey?
Because you like drama?
No, it's not drama at all. I learned how to like move my money around when I'm 55 years old and I'm not going to get penalized for it. And also, I'm going to make sure that I'm well beyond like a $4 millionaire by the time I retire.
You said 4. Is that...
Like $4 million?
Oh, okay. I thought that was like some sort of thing, like FOR
No.
millionaire.
No, I am
FOR.
well on my way to having that much money by the time I retire.
Well, the government's going to get it some way or another.
Nope, because the way I'm moving my money around, I'm paying for all the taxes now.
That's true.
Well, not true. It's just the choices I've made have
No,
made
it's
that
true.
true.
It's... Yes.
You can put into a 401k and you'll have to pay taxes on that when you retire. Or you could put it into...
If you get to a certain amount of age, you don't have to.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, I thought it says
No,
there's penalties.
There's penalties and you will always have to pay taxes. Taxes are not penalties. Taxes are taxes.
Oh, yeah. My God.
You just think that...
I think both.
You just think words mean the same thing and they don't.
And that's solicitor speak. And that's why we're completely fucked. Oh my God.
Okay, we're gonna go to
Should we move on? Or
yeah.
wait. Let's recap this one.
Why? What's to recap? There's nothing to recap.
Not the asshole. Because I
He
kind of
wasn't
want to be
asking
like...
if... Well, I guess he was asking
because I
me
kind
about
of
the
wanted to
asshole.
bring out the whole buying the van thing and the dad going for it.
I mean, that's what he did.
Stupid move on his part.
Yeah, we already determined that
All right.
the father was stupid.
All right. Well,
Okay,
that's...
we're gonna go to the next story.
Okay, hold on.
Did I mention that I had to have another dude touch my breasts today?
What's his name? Huh? Huh? Who is he? All right. Okay,
No, but
so...
for real, I'm not joking.
Well, I figured it's a doctor.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I'm a little peeved about it because the last time I went to that place, it was a female doctor. I do not like doctors.
Wrong.
I do not trust...
You're talking about a nurse.
I do not trust doctors, especially male doctors. And
That's all there is.
And then I call, I schedule, I give them my doctor's name the last time I was there. They said, okay, great. When would you like to come in? When are you available?
ASAP.
Exactly. I picked today. I go in. Who walks in? A fucking dude that looks like he's 18 years old.
That's not a doctor. That's Doogie. That's Doogie Howser.
Exactly.
I've watched this show a billion times.
Literally, do you want to know what's a bad sign?
Hold on. Was your doctor's office at the corner of Whittier and Woodruff? Like,
No. What happened when he walked in? That fucking music. Boom.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. You got the fucking what's that rule? Rule 34. Everything's a porn. Abby got Rule 34 for her mammogram.
It wasn't a mammogram. I didn't have to put it in that torture device. I refuse. I will never do that.
It was a mammograb.
Yeah, exactly. And it didn't even feel like the guy knew what the fuck he was doing. I swear to God.
He's just like, oh yeah.
No.
Oh yeah.
He
And
was
you're
like,
is there a lump? And he's like, There's 2 lumps.
Here's the thing. It was more like it's a bad sign when you're the doctor and you're talking to me like you're nervous. You know?
Right.
Like
me as a mechanic, if a person came up to me and be like, "What's wrong with my car?" I'm like, could be this or could be that. You're not going to have confidence.
No, and it was even before anything started.
Mm-hmm.
You could just tell that he wasn't comfortable talking to me. Don't know why.
Well, you're hot.
Maybe his confidence level's not there. I don't know.
You're hot.
And he was clearly younger than me.
Jeez.
Like I said, he looked like he was 18, so that probably means he's like 26.
Yeah.
Was
he Chinese?
He's a doctor. No, he was a white guy. Surprising. Well, no, he was probably. I say white guy, but I think he was Mexican, like you.
No, that's not a doctor.
But not Mexican. Sorry, not Mexican. Because he has a weird last name. It was Nashid.
Oh, so he's Indian. Okay.
No, but he didn't look Indian. Like at all.
They blend in.
Like I said, he looked regular.
Okay. Well.
But yeah, and so when he's doing it, obviously he has gloves on.
Uh-huh.
And they have a chaperone there.
No. Hold on. You have a doctor that has a chaperone?
With a nurse, yes. When it's a female and they're doing something
I thought you meant
is
like
either pelvic
like
or your
like,
breast, that you always have a chaperone.
Okay, I thought you
Not
meant
a
like,
doctor chaperone.
Yeah, I thought you meant like those special kids in school that had somebody walk around with them.
No.
I was like, well, what doctor's office are you in?
So because I told him like specifically that I was concerned about my right breast.
Mm-hmm.
And so he started with the left, and like he's literally like just like
not even
like he's doing it in a circular motion, he didn't have me lift my arm up, which like they always tell you when you give it yourself an exam.
You want tight.
You're supposed to lift your arm up, and like you're supposed to be laying down with your arm up.
Yeah.
He didn't have me do that. My arm was just down. So I thought that was weird. And then like he literally was just like this going around in a circle and like barely touching it at all.
Well, okay, hold on. In his defense, when I found it hurt you, so he probably didn't want to hurt you if it's can be painful.
Yeah, but he was doing the left one. I didn't say anything about my left one.
Well, I mean,
either way. Well, then he goes to the right one, and then he goes, "Well, before I start, I want you to like show me with your hand where like the spot that you're concerned about." So I showed him that, and then like he like actually felt just in that spot, like he felt the whole thing. But I'm saying like the rest of the exam, I was like, your hand is not doing anything. Like it's not, you're not gonna feel anything because you're like barely grazing my skin.
Yeah. And he's like, hold on, I need to go wash my hands, and you just hear that in the bathroom.
Anyways, he was very nice, but he seemed like just like he had no idea.
Bitch.
He didn't. Yeah, I don't know. You could tell he was very nervous about talking to me.
Well, fucking don't flatter yourself too much. Huh?
I wasn't flattering myself. I'd rather him not be.
Shut up, bitch!
Oh, yeah.
But I guess it's better than like if the guy was like 60 years old and just like
with cigarette smell on his breath. Yeah, he's like, "You want to mess around?
And let me have a look."
That's a little different. So yeah, you got the better extreme.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right. Okay, so what do you know about key lime pie?
I know that it's one of my grandma's favorite desserts.
It's a good thing. It's a good dessert.
It's okay.
Okay, so
key lime pie and lemon meringue, like you have
lemon meringue is very good. My grandma makes really good lemon meringue.
Yeah, both of them are like overly sweet, and so I'm not. I am a sweets person, but I'm not a sweet.
Yeah, because it's basically
you know what I'm saying,
meringue
and sugar,
key lime. It's whip
and gelatin.
Yeah,
right.
I
think there's gelatin in
there.
there
is.
Yeah,
it's straight whip. It's basically sugar.
It literally is.
All right. So, a lot of my rabbit holes are like with death and murder and weird conspiracies. But I kind of wanted to go left for you. You know.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to start this off, and then I'm going to take you through my presentation. Okay. So here's a review.
Actually looks really tasty.
Yeah. His drop dead gorgeous wife, Anita, together in their historic key lime pie factory and grill, where the smiles and ovens are always warm and friendly, inviting you to spend a little time resting and enjoying your time in their little Key West island near Bitmore Estate, close by. Kind of funny, you know, the world's greatest key lime pies aren't even baked in the Keys, but at Cucharitaville by Captain Cucci Paez and his lovely wife Anita.
So they're swingers.
In the Carolina mountains. Go figure. Kutch is the captain. Put that soul in soul food. You'll soon learn why people call Captain Cucci Paez the most interesting man in the world. But don't take our word for it. Follow the long lines to Anita and Captain Cucci Paez Key West. Cucharitaville, Key Lime Pie Factory and Grill, the place to be since 1976. Don't be fooled.
It should have been 1973. Would have rhymed better.
Well, it's going to all play together.
Uh-huh.
Don't be fooled into thinking that Jimmy Buffett designed or had anything to do with this place. Just ask Miss Sunshine Smith. That would be an insult. Cucci's was here long before anybody have heard of JB's. Sheesh. Donald Trump loves Cucharitaville so much that he often has takeout flown to him in New York City. Wow, he must really love those original cheeseburgers in paradise. We sure do. They have our vote for sure. My best friend said she heard last week that Donald Trump and Stephen Colbert together planning on a welcome to the USA party to Pope Francis. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so that is a review. It's a review, right?
That's a review?
You heard it, the restaurant. Okay.
No, I didn't know it was a review.
It's a review.
Okay, great.
All right.
It was a very weird review.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so I found the review on Instagram. This Instagram page is full of... We'll get there. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So this is Cucci's Key Lime Pies.
So it's with a K. Cucci's.
Cucci.
Kutchers?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. Actually...
And this is in North Carolina.
Yeah, Asheville.
Colorado.
Okay.
Which one is it?
All right. It's Asheville, North Carolina.
North Carolina. Okay.
All right. So let me read you this thing from Cora, a little intro of what it is. Hey, so the Captain Cucci's Key Lime Pies thing is one of the most wildest internet rabbit holes that's been baffling people for over a decade. And yeah, it's still pretty much an enigma. Because I went on this rabbit. I think I found new stuff. Anyways, if you haven't heard of it, basically since around 2009, someone or something has been flooding random internet corners of the web with these bizarre, rambling comments about a supposed key lime pie from a long-closed restaurant called Cucci's Key West Cafe in Asheville, North Carolina. The posts go on about Captain Cucci and his wife Anita making the best pies ever, often with the weird tangents about piegasms or random stuff like Jimmy Buffett. Over 700 comments, 30 plus usernames, and then poof, they just stopped one day. No explanation. So what's the deal? The simplest theory is just the spam bot gone haywire. Like maybe it was some half-baked SEO scheme to drive traffic somewhere, but it got abandoned and kept chugging along, spitting out the nonsense. The restaurant was real. It closed in the early 2000s after a Buffett lawsuit threat over Cucharitaville vibe. That tracks with how repetitive and incoherent the posts are. But then there's a weirder side. Some folks thinks it's a person, maybe an eccentric ex-customer or even Cucci himself, reliving the glory days. There's even chatter about it being coded messages like spy stuff or a troll's elaborate prank because of how oddly specific yet disconnected it all feels.
Yeah, exactly.
Darker, I don't know.
Because
There's no real evidence of anything sinister, no threats, no creepy undertones. The darkest it gets is maybe a sad story of someone's unhinged, maybe typing away for years. Most likely, it's a mix of human quirks and internet weirdness that snowballed into a mystery. Okay, so this guy, whoever's posting, will use different usernames, as said in this little Cure thing.
Mm-hmm.
But they always have these rambling things. So what I read originally, right, was this Instagram. So somebody went through. Wait, shit, that wasn't what I was supposed to do. So I went through, and on Instagram, somebody collected all their random posteds from somewhere. There's just the random comments that they leave on the annals of the internet.
Yeah, so it's like all random places that
Just completely random, talking about this one place, right? So is it the same person talking about these key lime pies from Captain Coochie and his wife? And they're from the most random places in the internet. And the most common what do you call that?
Username.
Is called Roger Ramjet. Now, Roger Ramjet was a cartoon that had one season in 1965. So if they opened that restaurant in 1978, it's probably believable that
it's
the owner would have seen this cartoon.
Right.
Because who would have known about this cartoon? So I saw a lot of Roger Ramjet. So
I've never even
Googled,
heard of this.
Me neither. But I saw a bunch of those. So I Googled Roger Ramjet. One season? Who's going to know about that?
Yeah, I mean...
And then the year, 1965.
Not only that, who's going to know about it, but who would have... Like, how would have it had that lasting of an impression?
You would have to be a kid at that time.
Username.
Like if I said to you, Tommy Pickles, you would know that.
Means something to me.
Rugrats?
Oh, Tommy Pickles, yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess it's a little different.
But they lasted for a while.
To me, it would have been exactly because they lasted for a while. But like, to me, it would be like Samurai Jack.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Samurai Jack wasn't that. It was more than one season, but it wasn't for that long.
Right, and it wouldn't be Samurai Jack, but like a character on Samurai Jack. You get it? But even one season.
Yeah, and I can't.
So I'm like, okay, so the age matches up. If they opened in 78.
But that's from, you said it was from 65.
65.
Not really. No.
If he opened a restaurant in his 20s.
So you're thinking somebody opened a restaurant when they were 20 years old?
The owner in 1970s. Hold on.
Opened a restaurant. Did my phone die?
Yeah. You're out.
Okay.
So he knew the cartoon. His brothers or sisters watched it when they were a kid. But something at 65 from him opening. Let's call it, because let's say like an 11 or a 13-year-old watched this. Mm-hmm. Then 13 years later, that's 26, 27.
Okay.
Right?
Yep, I could see it.
Yeah.
I could see it.
That's what led me to think like, okay, so he watched this cartoon, remembered it.
But then when you go to that tag name or that username, are there any other posts?
That's why I Googled Roger Ramjet. It's his most used username for posting the key lime pie recipes. Okay. So that's weird, right?
It's interesting. I don't know if it's weird, but okay.
Because he's posting on random Reddit boards, clippings to newspapers, not clippings, but like places, and he's randomly putting these
But
key
I'm
lime pie.
also more inclined to believe the theory that it's a like
A
it's
bunch of trolls.
like it's a chat bot.
No, but they're also sending it to newspapers. It's not just the internet, and it's also a random place.
So they're sending like physical things to the newspaper, or it's emails, because you could
be
also have a
emails,
chat bot do
could
that.
be emails. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay. Now, as I was researching this, I found this. Okay.
What is that?
Okay. This is an obvious, oh, Captain Coochie's famous key lime pie. Where do I even begin? This is no ordinary key lime pie, folks. This is stuff of legends, the pinnacle of pie. Imagine, if you will, a dessert so good that it defies description, a pie magnificent that even the laws of taste and texture land to bend you to its will. You don't simply eat Captain Coochie's key lime pie. You experience it. You live it. You become it. The first bite, pure magic. That smooth, tart, creamy lime hits your tongue and you're transported straight to a sun-drenched Florida beach where the waves whisper sweet nothings in your ear, and the crust. Oh, the crust. A buttery graham cracker masterpiece that crumbles just so, embracing the filling with tenderness and of a long-lasting love. So you get where I'm going with this,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I found this on no, god damn it. How do I get out of this? All right. Every post by this person is Serbian.
What do you mean?
Look at the words. See why? Like, I can't read that.
It's yeah.
Every single post by
Besides that one
yes,
is in another language.
yeah. Every single thing is in a different language, and randomly.
That's why I think it's a bot.
No. But check this one out, though. So they said that it went out in
Early
so the
2000s.
end of that. 2009. So the restaurant closed in. Okay, I have this written down. So the restaurant was open from 1978. So the restaurant was open from 1978 to 2005. The reviews started popping up online in 2009. Right? I have Ramjet.
After they were already closed.
Yeah. Okay. That post that I read you from the Serbian, this guy, was March 1st, 2021. Because they said the Kiora, they said that it stopped. They couldn't find any more posts by him. So they said it stopped in 2016, I think.
And then you found one from 2021.
I found, yeah.
Whoa.
So he's still posting. He's just more hidden. Because what they said was he was posting everywhere. And then they could find 3 posts a year talking about that place, but in random spots of the internet. And they said that they completely stopped in 2016. And then I stumbled on this one. 2021. So whoever's doing it is still sporadically sprinkling.
It could also just not even be the same person.
Oh, no. Right? Exactly.
Like, it could just be somebody that finds this story entertaining.
Fascinating to keep it going.
And then it's like, okay, I want to do this again.
Andy Kaufman, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Isn't that cool? Like, to me, that's the thought I had, is somebody is hearing about this and keeping it alive.
That, or it's a little bit more personal, and it's actually people who did have the key lime pie.
So it closed
like in general.
2000.
So like they closed, and maybe it was that originally it was the owner that was posting this stuff, and then
so look, the last post they say is 2013. Okay, keep going.
So it's that maybe the owner started it originally and then kind of created the lore behind it, and then it became kind of famous, because people were like, why are we getting these random comments in these random places?
Yeah.
And then people were like, well, I remember eating there.
Yeah.
And so then they've decided
To
to
latch on to the pies.
randomly comment
Yeah.
about the key lime pie in random places.
Yeah. Isn't
And
that
it's
crazy?
just a continuation of it.
Yeah. It's just so cool to me because it's like your theory could be right. Everybody's theory could be right.
All I know is if I ever meet Donald Trump, the only question I will ask is
He's had the
did
key lime
you
pie?
order key lime pie from Captain
Did you have it
Coochie's?
flown out to you with Stephen Colbert?
Yeah. That would be the only thing I cared to know.